Hello guys, welcome. What's up? Happy Saturday everyone. Happy morning or afternoon. The end of the month. Today is the 30th. Hey David. David. Yep. It's the end of the month, end of the quarter. That's why maybe yesterday it was more volatile than in the afternoon, especially than usual. Yeah, I hope you guys are at a good month. I hope you guys had a good quarter, and I wish everyone a good end of the year. It's time to double down, and I'm a kind of a believer that if you do finish the last quarter of the year strongly, I think that a good catalyst to start the year strongly as well, to gain the momentum. So yeah, how was your week, David? Was it good? In terms of the market, plenty of volatility, momentum, yep, up and down. Basically, price is filling these prices that actually we were looking for last week. At least those were the levels that I was looking for, especially on the dollar. It was a quiet week in terms of news events, aside from yesterday, the core PCE, slightly better, but it was one of the quietest weeks comparing it to what we had just a week before, with so many central bankers announcing their interest rate. And next week is going to be, or resume, the big catalysts, right? It's going to be the labor market, it's going to be NFP on Friday. Before that, we have another labor market data coming out. We also have interest rate decision in Australia, New Zealand, if not mistaken, and some other data coming out. They're looking for the DXY to cut out, right? I think many people are looking for that. Yeah, right, so we have been waiting. When was the break of the high? Was it this week or last week? It was this week, Mike. Yeah, it finally broke the high that we've been waiting for quite a while, in particular this level in here. Mike, price still paused for a second in there, and it finally broke the high, and we talked about it, right? I think, at least if I recall correctly, this was the next level. This demand zone, a supply level kind of on the daily time frame. I think that was the next zone that I had in my viewing here in terms of potential target for this move to the upside, or at least some reaction to expect from there. Bigger picture, that's a good question, right? There's still the possibility of maybe price challenging all the way these highs as well, and getting a little bit closer between this level. So I wouldn't just say that the dollar is done, or the move to the upside on dollar, it's completed. Even the way price just moved in here, usually price does tend to, at least I'm expecting a double top on that level to confirm that price actually wants to move down. I'm expecting at least some kind of reaction to the highs again, which may happen next week, and then we may go down. Yeah, so that's kind of a little bit of what at least that. In reality, looking at our weekly candles, and it was another one. So it again, one more time, we challenged to get really close to the opening of the week, and then got rejected. It was the same thing the week before, if not mistaken. Price challenged to almost close below, and they find a way to close bullish. And there you go. It's 11 weeks now. We have 11 weeks in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 weeks in a row with a weekly bullish candle on the dollar, which goes also, I believe, on the dollar franc Swiss. It's another bullish candle, and a bearish candle on the euro dollar. So that's kind of what we're looking for. We are looking for 78.6. You mean from this high to this low? Where is the fib in there? It is a fib. Are you talking about this level? Kind of somewhere in there? Or are you talking just more recently? What happened just right now? Let me just do it this one. Maybe we are talking recently in here. Just look at this. 78. Yeah, 788. It looks nice. Yeah, from the daily. Yeah. Yeah, that looks nice, that level, kind of support resistance. I think there's still a little bit of orders, a little bit slightly higher, to be honest. This is a good level. Price can fake out this high, getting it just into there, and then can literally react from it. Just fake out this. That could be a possibility. Yeah, that could be definitely a possibility. Just do it again. And then I think there's a little bit more of orders. This is actually one that I don't really like that much because it's a bit in the middle, this high. I would rather to see actually then this high maybe being faked out into literally the extreme, which is a little bit in there. I think there's a little bit of a zone in there that price may have missed. This low or this high in particular may have not taken that or reacted from it. Actually, where did this high reacted from? Yeah, just a little bit from the base, unless there's something in here, which maybe on the tick chart, whatever. But in the lower time frame, I think price could have gone a little bit higher, which this high never touched it. Nevertheless, it's kind of a quasi model, right? You kind of have all these highs, kind of break out. Maybe there's a little bit of a decision point in here as well. So price could actually respect this a little bit and then drop. In terms of the 78 fib, I think it was slightly above this high, as we mentioned. Now this one has already kind of reacted from it. So this high already reacted from this level. A little bit of a zone in there. This actually price reacting from here. This is basically just a test of support resistance, right? This high just reacted from what was before demand, now kind of becomes a supply. That's basically the flip, or what was before a support becomes a resistance. And that's basically where this high is reacted from. They left all these levels behind. Yeah, so we'll see somewhere in here how price may react, and then kind of maybe a little bit in here and then kind of a little bit in there. So there are still a few zones, and that's why I'm still expecting at least a double top on the dollar before even attempting to go much lower. Again, if price by any chance just wants to continue to go lower, perfect, it just goes down. The range initially that I was looking for this week, it was already this one, that basically price reaches target. So after we finally reached the high, so the high was that reaction from the daily time frame, not daily, hourly. Like, so we are reacting from this level. This was a clean supply level with a nice fake out. So actually it was a quasi model as well. Like, it left this level behind, and price not just went there and reacted from it, right? So that was the target. Basically, after taking that high that you're looking for, there was not much in here. Price still reacted a little bit, if not mistaken, a little bit from these levels, and then eventually just skyrocketed and they moved higher. Actually, we had a little bit of this demand or this level, and price still reacted a little bit from that level during the beginning of the week. I think it was the first reaction after price took the highs, but the final destination was a little bit this level. At least from what we're looking for. And then if by any chance price does want to break above this, it can even go maybe higher in here. Yeah, that level maybe still something in there. Yep. But for now, this level. And then price can yeah, this could be an interesting one eventually to take that high that is visible on the daily and weekly time frame. Where are we? Oh, to the left, right, sorry. Yeah, taking this high, maybe a little bit into this level. That could be an interesting zone as well for the future. Yeah, to turn just slightly. That would be kind of a bullish to the upside, and then kind of price could retrace, and then kind of could go higher. Yeah, that could be interesting as well. If price does want to do something like that. Yeah. Now, where actually this low reacted from, like, it did react somehow from a okay level, right? So it's kind of reacted from all this zone in here, a little bit of a demand in there. What we noticed on the dollar in the initial stage was, and we talked actually about this, right? Actually, it was a session that we did with the guys, which was where does price usually end up reacting from? Like, it did kind of react from the support resistance, or eventually kind of supply demand. Kind of, if you just make it as basic as that, you're going to see price reacting quite often from there. So this was the high, right? Basically the resistance point, the high that was broken, and what happens afterwards, right? So what two levels we'll be looking for? First, this level, just as a typical breakout situation, price breaks, retest, and goes, right? That's basically what everyone is trying to look for when thinking about a breakout situation. Where it will be the next situation, the next level, like it will be basically the demand zone that actually managed to break the high, right? So this level in here, it's actually the level that price created the momentum to finally break all this major high and even a little bit of this structure. Now, sometimes this demand zone is almost in alignment with the high and basically the same level. Yeah, both levels, they are basically the same in that circumstance, but sometimes they aren't, right? Sometimes they're actually kind of a clear separation of good gap between one and the other. So if one is respected straight away and the other one is left behind, that's usually then where price tends to go to, right? If by any chance price would just go directly into the demand zone, then I would actually see or look for price to react from the support resistance now on the right side. Price would now go higher, and then price finally could react from here and continue to go to the upside. So initially price just respected from here, right? Even on the lower time frame, as you can see, if you track the data in there. So basically that's the demand zone. And then you, of course, as you change time frames, that's actually the great part of this, is that the market it's basically the same, but if you change time frame every bit, you'll see where the stuff are. Like, so higher time frame, this was basically the demand, like somewhere, I don't know, somewhere in here, kind of within this structure, that's basically where the demand is. But in the lower time frame, for example, on this 5 minutes time frame, this actually was the demand that broke, kind of, right? This is actually kind of the last piece that breaks that high. What we have actually the first reaction. This is just to see how price is fractional, right? Price actually reacted straight away to the pip, to that line, to the high that broke, and then went higher, and then touched the demand, and then went higher again, right? And then it creates kind of a cozy mode in here, and that's basically where price ended up reacting on the return in here. Right, and then kind of you scroll down, you scroll to the left side, or to the right side, and price still respected once again that level. So at this point, it left literally, at this point, dollar index had left this level behind. Okay, so it left this level behind in here, right? So carry on. So there was no break of a low in this circumstance. Price just continue, and we were towards the target. It was that supply level that you were looking for in there on the left side. And now what is left behind, right? Maybe a little bit in here, but this level, as we discussed, this level of previous resistance becoming support has already been touched quite a few times, and the level in the higher time frame that is still fresh is this demand zone now, right? So this could be kind of a little bit of this structure, which can still have some previous support or resistance as well, whatever. But this is now the level that you'll be looking for price eventually to go to. So that was the range that you're looking for in this particular case. As soon as price kind of reacted from there and start to turn and kind of created a little bit of a few lows, in particular breaking this level, that's kind of the target that you're aiming for at this point in here. Now the question mark, it will be how price will go there, right? In this case, price just respected this level. We never had that deep retracement a little bit closer to that level, or that level, the ones that we already mentioned just before. So now price is in between the levels. So basically the target for this short, it has happened. It will be that one. And now question mark of what's going to happen next. Okay, because price, this level is actually quite a good one. Now, what do we also have when this happens? When you have this level, price goes higher, respects this, goes higher, and now breaks this level, but respects just the demand zone that was in here. What happens is there is a break of a low in here, right? I think everyone can see now break of a low. And this is a good question mark, right? Is this now going to mean that price wants to continue to go lower, or by any chance price just wants to resume higher and then maybe after finally turn? Right, this is where a little bit of a confusion can be made. Maybe looking at where actually price is reacting on the left can be of support, trying to understand if this is actually an engulf down or just maybe a fake out of these lows into this level and just a continuation at this point in here. Like, so what I'll try to find out is exactly now, okay, let me know where actually this is reacting from. Let me also know maybe if this is actually reacting already from a really good level or not. It is, let's consider that it is. Maybe can have a slight fake out and then turn, but it is already kind of reacting from a good level. And then another situation could be, for example, okay, is there still any orders in here? We just noticed that there are, right? We just realized that there are maybe still 2 or 3 levels in there that price could easily still react from and maybe still push price downside. Like, for example, if this level had already been taken, for example, if this side had already been taken in there, imagine that this side does this, meanwhile price goes down, price move up from here, and kind of goes like that. So basically, if every single thing in here has been taken, then there is a high probability that this will be just a continuation to the upside. Like, but because there's still maybe orders in there, maybe that level can actually work and play out quite nicely, and maybe still hold price down. Last piece is, of course, we're going to just follow the approach. Like, I'm not going to be selling blindly in here. I'm actually going to pay attention to maybe how dollar is actually going to eventually approach this level in here. If we start showing some weakness, if price just goes in a compression way, if we start breaking walls on the way down, then eventually we may fake out this level, may create something interesting. It would be maybe to create a double top somewhere kind of in here, attract a little bit of liquidity. It looks like it's holding, and then all of a sudden we have that move and goodbye. This could be quite interesting to see. Like, so yeah, we'll see what may happen. We'll see if we're going to maybe get stuck a little bit in the range, or if by any chance price is going to create or continue with the momentum either to the upside or eventually kind of retesting all the way down to there. Like, so that's something to keep an eye on, and that's kind of what I'm looking for on the dollar index in here for this week, which of course is going to be a catalyst for everything else that's going to happen. It was literally a dollar move this week. It was a dollar move. After it broke the highs, everything was in alignment. The moves on the euro, the moves on the pound, the moves on the Aussie, the moves on dollar CAD somehow. Yeah, but mostly of them, again, some of them have moved quite strongly than others, but it was a dollar move at this point. Yeah, so we'll see how the month's going to start on Monday, and yeah, we'll see what's going to happen in there. Ooh, tired already. David, you pay attention to any stuff like this kind of when making decisions, or just going to look at the 78 and there you go, your bias is created and you think that dollar is going to go down. That's it. End of story. Yeah. Next. What's next? Indices. Interesting one as well. Like, this was quite good. S&P. There you go, continuation to downside. As soon as the dollar turned, indices also turned. Now, yeah, just the news. Okay. So what we were looking for on the S&P, right? So this was an interesting one, right? So we had that level that has already been respected in the past, and now we're looking for these lows in here, 6, 7, 8 of June, something like that. And that's actually was the target. As soon as you start breaking these lows, this was the target for price to go below these lows and get into this next level. That was the gap that you want. Sorry, this was the gap that you wanted to be seen filled, and that's kind of where we're aiming towards to. Now, bigger picture, I'm still expecting maybe for price to continue to move further down, and maybe even going all the way to challenge these lows, and I wouldn't be surprised if that was happening. Maybe a little bit of a liquidity in here, but then kind of continue to break below that. But before we go all the way there, we have maybe something in here as well. It's actually just a bigger picture in there. Yeah, okay. So yeah, war time frame, this was a really good zone, and basically these were the two levels, right? That's kind of what we talked about. These would have been the two levels. This level after breaking, and then kind of the test towards this level. This was still actually a really good supply level that was left behind in there, and that's actually the level that we're looking for in here. Price may actually have missed slightly that level, kind of missed by a little bit, but considering this left shoulder in here, that's basically where price reacted. Good compression, good break of a low even before that, and you have to move down. Initially, I was actually looking for a potential long closer to this level. Price never really spiked there. It created this level. It slightly took the low in here and then kind of just took off. Like, he created this range and never really had the proper spike down. And this was actually where I was looking for a potential long to go towards that level. And never happened. So yeah, no long position for me. We'll see now where our price may react from there, even though, in my opinion, price just reached its target, which was basically the retest of that structure, which was in here. So since there is no exactly maybe a proper engulf up, I'll be cautious a little bit with the sales. I may create a little bit of liquidity in here, which price is doing so. But yeah, we'll see. I'll see now the reaction. I was more aggressive, trying to look straight away for a long in here. Price had done this in this moment, as I had a clear target that I was looking for. Now that the target maybe have been reached, it was reached. I'm a little bit more cautious in terms of any longs in there. But yeah, interesting move as well during this week on the S&P. A little bit more of a range. Again, bigger picture, I think price will just carry on eventually moving down. Question mark is going to be from here, are they going to have any kind of a little bit of a deep retracement before that? Using the information on the NASDAQ, right? It's quite different. They are reacting from different levels, just to keep an eye on. For example, S&P, what do we have? Like S&P already reacted from this level in here. Alright, so S&P already reacted from this level in here, which was the high from August last year. And then S&P just also fake out these lows, which were from this year, June, like 6th, 8th of June. So let's use these 2 points as a reference. And then actually let's compare with the NASDAQ. Where is NASDAQ at this point? Right. So what is the high in August? Like it's actually in here. So there is still quite a big gap between that level. So S&P already went all the way and already reacted from here. It actually already broke that level into the next range. Well, NASDAQ is still quite a little bit of room to go to. And then what was the other point? It was this one. Like we're talking about this lows from the 6th, 7th of June, which basically this double low in there. And again, as you can see, NASDAQ is still kind of far away from it. Okay, so it's lagging at this point. Basically, NASDAQ, it looks like it's lagging in comparison with S&P. S&P is moving to the downside quicker than NASDAQ, looking just as the reference of these levels. Even the reaction to the upside, it was slightly higher. Okay, so for example, the level that we are talking about on S&P that it reacted from, it was exactly the same supply as this one. Okay, it was this level created on the 26th of September. It's a similar shape in there. It's this level on 26th of September, this shape. S&P reacted quite nicely. NASDAQ had reacted from that level even before that, right? It reacted from it Thursday. S&P on Friday. So yeah, that's a little bit of what we have. In terms of the reversal, it was also really good. We identified that level as well. So we broke the low, broke a little bit more, and then you have that Quasimodo pattern created in here. So NASDAQ actually, so again, the reversal on S&P, it was just within the range. Right, just was within the range and the price went higher. NASDAQ actually went a little bit deeper into this left shoulder. May have not really reacted from the band zone, but it's just reacted from there. And we already had a break of a high, clear break of a high, showing indication to go higher. So yeah, we kind of stop looking for sales in this particular point. We start actually looking for the retracement at this level. Really good reaction. This was a clean supply that's still in there. Actually, kind of question mark how S&P reacted from it. Maybe S&P already reacted from that level before. This is 21st of September. It's 22nd of September, so 21st of September. Yeah, 21st of September. As you can see, S&P went out straight away to react from that level and we moved down. NASDAQ never reacted from that level. None of these highs reacted from that level. So it was still a fresh level. You can see how you can use actually this information just looking at these 2 particular assets. They're quite correlated, but the levels that you left behind and where they're reacting from, they are different. One may react first and the other one just going to react from it afterwards. Yeah, head and shoulder, right? We call it Quasimodo, but yeah, it did a head and shoulder somewhere in there, in here. Yeah, it was perfect. It was a perfect pattern, reversal pattern. And when we identify that, yeah, there were a few guys that are trying to still aim for shorts, and I advise them to be cautious at this particular point. Be careful with that because price may actually found is level at this point. Is starting to print some reversal patterns in here. And this was a nice zone. Again, this high had already been broken, so kind of price which I was looking for that 21st of September in there. And there you go. And now that's where we are. And it was a nice little movement in there. So we'll see what's going to happen. Again, bigger picture, kind of still bearish. I'm not a big fan, to be honest, where actually this low has been reacted from. I think price eventually wants to continue to go down. Unless there's something that I'm missing out in here. Yeah, not the biggest fan. Yeah, not the biggest fan, honestly, of where the low is reacting from. I think that maybe just a retracement before a continuation to the upside, to the downside. Dow, yeah, Dow, it was a nice one as well, right? So basically took out this structure, went into the next level, and it reacted from there, right? Just as simple as that. Took the lows, reacted straight away. Now it's reacting a little bit from this next level. Yeah, nice one there as well. Kind of, we'll see. There's maybe more room to downside. I think there will be. Maybe price can even challenge this level in here. That's kind of a little bit of maybe what we have in there. So that's a little bit of what we have. Eventually, we don't have all this compression, and price may go there. Indices, Euro index. So what did we have in here, right? So we talked about it. We were still bearish. This low, I think it was just a continuation to downside, and as long as this high or this level in here would be respected, the continuation downside, I think there was a high probability. Again, where this high reacted to on the left side, I was not the biggest fan. I think price would go a little bit closer to this structure, which now reacted from it. Like we had two levels in here, one to be kind of the zone at the edge, upper edge of the level, and then kind of we have the other one at reach the extreme. So far is reacting from the level at upper edge in here, and that's kind of where these lows reacted from. So again, same situation. Euro dollar also respected from this level. This was a drop during the ECB press conference, interest rate decision. We had moved down, it broke the walls, retested. It spent a lot of time in here, but it finally broke down. After the reaction, this was our first target as well to look for. Right? So this retesting this level, this is the first barrier that we could find. Initial price kind of paused a little bit in here, but this was the first level, and that's when actually we start looking for a potential euro correction as soon as price touched that level, and that's kind of a little bit of what happened on the euro yesterday during the news. So again, how to use the correlation between all these indices and then the individual currency pairs. It's a great advantage to pay attention to it. You're going to gather so much more information and make wiser choices and decisions when looking for setups. This really provides a lot of information. So what you're expecting now, right? So basically price now, while when price was still in here or in here, I mentioned several times that I was not really happy, or I don't think that will be the bottom of this lows. I think there will be more a little bit room to downside to get closer to the extreme of this level. I'm kind of okay now. Right? I'm kind of okay where actually this one now is reacting from, which means that yeah, I'm going to be a bit more cautious, maybe forcing more sales. Even though bigger picture, I still think that price may still go lower. This one has already broken below that, and I think we may go even a little bit lower in there. But for now, I'm not going to be reinforcing it. If I start noticing some reversal in here, perfect, that's amazing. Target, I'm just even going to look for something on the test of this, or whenever euro index is reacting again these lows, I'm going to be cautious because this may be a zone to look for a move to the upside again. Okay, so it's a different story now. Before I don't think price had reached its target. Now I'm okay with it. It's not my perfect solution or kind of my perfect level, but yeah, I'm not going to really fighting it too much about that. Yen index, there you go, right? This is going to be literally, yeah, it's going to be massive in here. So it just broke the lows again. We start having slightly broke to the highs. It broke the lows again. When we saw this one, this looks like just a small fake out. In order to take completely the liquidity in here, I think I would have preferred to see a little bit more of a deep move to downside and then kind of a retracement, kind of this kind of a move, a little bit almost similar to what could have happened in here, but just found the next level of resistance and it dropped. But a little bit more of a move like that to move away from this level. If it is just a little bit of a small move, yeah, maybe it's just maybe a continuation. Again, we'll see what's going to happen. You have dollar yen finally took a massive high, which is getting really close to 150, which is going to create a lot of pressure for the yen. What has happened during these last few weeks in here on dollar yen, or yen index, sorry, is that any moves that we have seen on the yen pairs, they haven't really been related to the yen. Okay, And that's why you have this range, and that's why you have this kind of range. All of a sudden there's a little bit of a spike, or there was a little bit of a move, but in general the moves are not related to the yen. What I mean is, when you're looking at dollar yen, euro yen, pound yen, Aussie yen, and so on and so forth, the main reason the way they are moving during these last few weeks is because of, for example, euro yen is because of what euro is doing, pound yen is because of what the pound is doing, dollar yen is because of what the dollar is doing. It's not because of the yen. There's going to be the moment, and it's going to be because of the yen. And when that happens, that's when you're going to see this one moving, and moving aggressively. Okay, and when you see that, you're going to see the alignment within those yen pairs, and you're going to see them moving in the same direction. Because what we have at this point, or what we have had recently, is kind of maybe euro yen moving down. Euro yen is just in a range, right? A big range at this point. But we have kind of euro yen moving down, pound yen moving down, because euro dollar and pound dollar is moving down, and we have kind of dollar yen moving upwards, because actually that's what the dollar is doing, and Aussie yen doing whatever Aussie is doing, Aussie dollar is doing. Okay, so eventually for these guys to turn, most likely dollar yen, dollar yen, euro yen, Aussie yen, pound yen, whatever, all the yen pairs, or most of the yen pairs, they may be getting really close to a potential level of support level, or kind of some kind of really important support resistance, whatever, or supply, in order for all of them kind of to go down in alignment, while this one can actually go higher from here. But that's maybe what we are waiting at this point. Maybe you are waiting for the alignment to occur on the yen pairs. We finally saw beginning of, well, end of this week, euro yen maybe moving higher, pound yen moving higher. Like, we know that dollar yen is quite high at this point, but it's maybe waiting just for the remaining of the other yen pairs to be also at the kind of over situation, kind of super expensive, in order for them to kind of go down again. Aussie yen as well had a big rally this week. It was actually a really great setup in there. So we'll see. That's going to be one to keep an eye on for this week. At this point, again, in terms of what we are looking here, any confirmation of maybe breaking a high, kind of breaking again above this level, or anything in here in between, eventually can lead to that. We'll see. We'll see what's going to happen in there. Individual currency pairs, right? So let's take a look at this. Let's start with the euro dollar, and let's see what's going to happen in here. Again, weekly basis, it was another negative weekly candle, just as we talked about. It's 11 in a row. Now, what we have also talked about, I have to do with some of these lines in here. A nice reaction from there. All right, so what we have been talking about on the euro dollar as well, like just similar to dollar index, which sorry guys, still drinking my coffee. Actually, it's not exactly similar, because on the dollar index, I'm quite okay with actually the highs reacting to on the left side. On the euro dollar, I'm not really, like, whatever euro dollar is reacting to in here doesn't really mean anything to me, to be honest. I think price may just want to eventually continue to move down, or maybe get a little bit closer to this level. It doesn't really mean much to me. I think euro, actually, looking just from this perspective, targeting something in here, I think it will be quite nice, and price going somewhere in there, even taking this low, could be quite interesting in the long run. And looking at the macro, I think the eurozone is still kind of in a really big problem comparing with the US, which may carry on taking this euro dollar to the downside. So looking at the fundamentals and the macro part, I think euro is going to continue to go down. Meanwhile, we may have a little bit of a retracement in here. So what happened? Like, we took the lows. That was something that we were looking for as well. And yeah, this was a complete miss. This was something that we were looking for. We spent basically all Thursday waiting for that retest again to the lows. It never happened. Just similar to dollar index, just paused like a little bit more in the middle, and never really gave the opportunity a little bit deeper to look for the entry. And that was kind of what happened in there. Macro, I think so. Which in that sense could take dollar to the upside, like, which again, I don't know exactly when that may happen. I would like to see a little bit of a range, to be honest. But while on the dollar, I could still see, yeah, maybe price, okay, it's okay where it reacted from. I don't really like the euro. Kind of euro is reacting slightly from this low. It doesn't really mean anything to me at this point. I think price may just wants to go slightly lower in there. So we'll see what may happen in that sense. Yeah, it's going to be hard for me to say that this is okay. Again, whenever price or whenever euro comes back to this level, we'll see what may do. So what we talked about, like this level in here was fresh. This was already taken a little bit in here, and that's maybe one extreme in there for the euro dollar to go to, or you can even fake out this one. Like if you compare what we had on the dollar index and if we kind of still have what we have on the dollar index and euro dollar, for example, dollar index, I think this level is still fresh, euro is taken. So now kind of we have maybe a little bit of this level as one left behind. So we have maybe one zone in here on the dollar index. I think maybe still had maybe 2 or 3, right? Yeah, but I'm not sure, to be honest. I just don't really like it. And I would prefer to have euro dollar and dollar index for reacting from kind of levels that I'll be kind of happy with it, which we don't really think anything in here. Basically, all these lows, this level it held really nice in this level. And now that we took this level, maybe price got really close to the extreme in that zone, and I don't really like it. I would even prefer to see maybe euro going slightly a little bit more in there, or eventually even can carry on. And honestly, looking in here, I think if price by any chance continues just to go there, I think eventually could literally target a little bit in there. Now we do have this level. This level can be quite interesting. There is this low, price never really reacted from it, and there's a little bit of a zone in there. That can be actually kind of a zone, an interesting zone. What do we have in here? Second. Okay, that's the daily. Yeah, to be something in here, I think, after taking this daily low. Yeah, again, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I'm not the biggest fan when you have kind of these ranges in here. There's always a moment that price is going to create this kind of compression move on the way away, when price kind of breaks some structure, then kind of starts moving upwards, creating new highs, but always having deeper tests. The tendency, it will be for price to eventually go all the way and to take out this compression, which basically starts in here. Kind of this is the low of that move, and then kind of have this separation here with a little bit of view levels that price eventually could go to. Yeah, well, now this is super higher time frame. Like price can literally bounce still in there, can even respect this level, for example. It's quite interesting in there, and so on and so forth. But now euro is basically reacting from here. Yeah, maybe on the super low time frame, that's still maybe a good level. Which is basically in here. Yeah, okay. It's a good level. It had a good reaction. Is it going to hold in the bigger picture? Not sure. Like, it was a good level to look for. I actually remember this one. It was on the 6th of yeah, this was NFP in yeah, the first NFP of the year. Yeah, I do remember this one. Yeah, I think I didn't trade NFP on this day. I didn't trade the euro dollar, but I think I got another one of the euro pairs, and another one of the dollar pairs on that day. He had moved to the upside. There was a big spike in here. Yeah, this was still NFP. It was interesting. So yeah, we'll see. In terms of what we see in here, like, okay, we broke this level, so this will eventually be a natural target. Like we had this zone in here. This always looks like a good target to look for when price turns, because this high never reacted from the zone or from the next level of structure. Therefore, that's kind of a tendency for price to just navigate towards there. I was wishing and hoping that price, after taking these highs on Thursday, would have that deep retracement and then make the move. It never happened. Just pause in there and then just continue, and basically kind of where we are right now. It was a really good level where price actually faked out. It faked out this middle high in here. It never really got close to the other extreme, which kind of ended up, yeah, after taking that level, kind of fake out yesterday and kind of moved outside. This is a good tip as well, and you're going to be able to notice it. Like during the US Open, during the London Open, There's a slight break of a low. It's so small, it's so tight. And there's a small break of a low in here, and this usually tends to show you the direction for the next time. So let it go up, and then kind of price will just go down. It happened similar. I think it was in here at book 28 as well, but no, this is not exactly this example I wanted to give. I think I want to give the example on the NFP. Yeah, 20 something. Yeah, right. So just before the move upwards in here, price just 1 second. Yeah, just before the move upwards again, around the London Open, slightly takes, where it go higher, and then we have the move during the US session all the way to the downside. It's just a small tiny break in there, which is it's a good piece of information that you can gather in there. So yeah, euro again, it can go a little bit higher, totally okay. It may do that. Going down to 1483. Ah, 1 second, Jesus, you're looking way far behind it there. One 483. Yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah, maybe. Maybe there's a little bit of a zone just above that. I have kind of 2-3 levels in here. I'm curious to see if we do break below these lows. But you see, what else do we have? Like, we have almost through test of this previous level of support resistance as well, like this high, this low, which can also be a natural level for price to eventually retest and go. So that's just something to consider. Yeah, so we'll see what's going to happen in here in this particular case. Yeah, a little bit of these levels, and then maybe price can even go a bit higher. Yeah, so you did manage to break that high, so it can go a little bit lower, so then can go higher, and then I'll see. I would actually like to see a little bit of a range being created instead of just momentum. Maybe could trade a little bit in between this range before maybe continue to either direction. Yeah, I wouldn't mind to see a little bit of a range being created this week. I think there's maybe the range is good, is big enough. We'll talk about maybe 150 pips that price could navigate up and down in here. So there's enough room in there for price to move. As long as there are kind of orders kind of left behind, maybe price could take something, could go down, could kind of take this low, could go up again, kind of range a little bit in here. No, I don't use any Elliott wave. I did look at it once, like a long time ago. I was actually following one guy. I think he does a great job. I don't remember his name now. Elliott wave something. I think the guy's from Miami. Yeah, but it's just too subjective. Yeah, it's just too subjective for me. Yeah, euro, pound. There you go. Right? So this is what we are looking for as well on pound. We definitely, everyone can see this compression. Like everyone could see this basically trend line. Our price was moving down in such a compressed way. We start having slightly the breaks of our highs, so that was indication of a potential beginning of a reversal or showing some weakness of change of direction. And there you go, right? So basically price reaching off the levels that you're looking for, kind of approaching now a little bit of this previous level of resistance, becoming maybe support, and basically we are looking at this structure. Price is reacting a little bit from the base of it, then could be a little bit more underneath, and eventually can even go all the way towards there, right? Which can still carry on with that bearishness on the pound. I wouldn't be surprised. It's the same with the euro. Maybe pound can carry on. Pound is actually the UK is also still in a big problem. Kind of the inflation is different, like still too high. Everything that's going on in here, it's a bit weird still. So again, seeing more weakness on the pound, it wouldn't be a surprise. Nevertheless, it was about time to have a correction, and no surprise of how quickly the correction happened because of all the compression. Now, where did price reacted from? It was actually in reality, it actually reacted from an interesting level on the 1 hour time frame, not so much on the daily and so on. But yeah, so again, there's maybe still room to the upside. Pound was another one. It was quite quick. There was absolutely no retracement. This Thursday, last Thursday, it was quite of a mess. Yes, literally just wishing and hoping for price to retrace back to there, and never happened. And in several pairs, especially on the CAD pairs, Euro CAD, Pound CAD, it was hilarious. So yeah, nice little move. This was actually a good one yesterday. And yeah, so maybe more room to the upside. Price there's maybe more continuation here. Now price is reacting from this low. I'm expecting now we may call it a zone 2 type of a move in this particular case. Zone 2 type of a move is after we have kind of zone 1, which is the bottom. It's kind of the second leg. Like it's eventually when price kind of retests, kind of how it goes away. There's specific patterns that price usually kind of creates in there. And that's kind of what we'll be looking for, being one of them to eventually to take this low, to then kind of start a new move to the upside. Now, where is this low maybe again go to? We can actually just literally take this low and get into this level, as you can see. And this is actually a good tip as well. When you're looking for momentum on the trend, again, where does usually price goes and react from? Like it's either kind of support resistance or the demand zone. I can almost just make it as simple as that. And what you have, like basically during all this move, price just reacting from previous levels of resistance that become support. Like it goes higher, retest next one, goes higher, retest next one, and when it price this kind of a move, it shows kind of a lot of strength. It's not even, it doesn't even need to create such a deep retracement to go to the demand zone. Like the demands are literally left behind in this particular case. Just go, retest, go, retest, go, retest, like in here. It's even stronger if by any chance price doesn't even go as deep to retest even the support resistance. Like it just literally, we have one here, just price goes, kind of goes, right? With kind of support resistance and even demand zone left behind in there. Right, but this just shows a little bit the strength of the move upwards in this particular case, which means that now we have a few levels to look for. It's kind of a little bit in there. This one maybe have been taken already, kind of then you are looking for this. And there's even a chance to go a little bit lower because price actually haven't really touched that level in here. So opposite to the euro, I don't really like the lows. Pound, I'm okay with the lows at this point to look for a little bit of a retracement. So we can even go higher, bigger picture. I can still see eventually price going close to one of those two levels in there. On the pound 17th of March, that you're talking about last year for sure. Yeah, just 17th of March. Yeah. Yeah, there was. Is this one? We're talking about this one, eventually that one. Which one are you talking about? Yeah, maybe this one. Davy. Okay, on the Davy. Yeah, okay, on the Davy, got it. Yeah, there was, and those levels are important to pay attention to, and no surprise reaction in this case. So let's see. I would like to see maybe price continue to control in here. Just imagine the situation that actually we could even go higher one more time and then finally take the lows. But yeah, as long as we continue to create a little bit of a structure in here, then we can maybe go down. We kind of slightly took that one, maybe not. Yeah, could go a little bit higher, just create a new high in here, kind of break a little bit above the structure and then continue to go down. I wouldn't be surprised with that. So just take the highs in here and continue to push down, maybe react from something in there and then kind of push down, go. This could be Monday to have another bearish move, just taking the highs first, move down, and then on Tuesday we get again closer to these lows in here, and then we can actually navigate and see with good PA and push price to the upside and target kind of this highs, if not even higher in here, because maybe to fill out this and maybe getting closer to that level in there. So that will be maybe a playbook for the beginning of this week, if that's kind of about to play out now. We may not have such a deep retracement. I hope so. That will be amazing, but I think there's maybe still something in here that price can actually still use. And if you do create this above all, which kind of already have it, in order to collect liquidity from this above all, price may not really need to do that. Like no one's going to be trading looking for longs in here with a stop loss that wide, right? I don't think that no one's going to be doing that. I think they'll be just placing their stop loss kind of somewhere in here, which takes us into this level in here in terms of to collect liquidity and then maybe go away from here. Anyways, price just literally uses this level and kind of retest something and just continues to go down and starts pushing it, and then kind of with some kind of good PI again, we may have that reversal in here. But so far, kind of let's see how price may do that in here, right? So basically those are kind of a few zones in here on the pound to pay attention to. And as I mentioned, there's maybe even the chance of faking out all the way that low in here, because price actually didn't really react from there. There's a little bit of a gap in there to look for, and this was kind of the zone that I will be looking for in here. And this was a little bit of the gap that I would like to see on the pound, which is this one never really broke that. Yeah, I think I would like to see which price reacting in between these two levels in here. After taking that one, now this level is still fresh as well. This is one zone, so I wouldn't even like completely ignore that. But I think these two levels in here, I would like to see it. It's in alignment a little bit with these ones as well. So that's kind of where I'll be looking on the eventually favorite level. It will be all the way there. Looking in more detail, if price just wants to fake out these lows and react from that level in here, we may be aiming towards price respected it. We may be looking towards something in here. Yeah, that one could be okay. Don't really like anything. I think, yeah, price already reacted from this one, so that's taken. Yeah, maybe something. Yeah, maybe something in here when price moved away from this range. Yeah, which kind of it's somewhere in this kind of in here. Yeah, that's kind of where I'll be looking for in that particular case. Now this left shoulder already kind of reacted from it, so there's not exactly any orders in here. Where was the last supply that should have respected price? Maybe in here, even though that one got really close there as well, so maybe not so much. And then we have this left shoulder in there, which kind of price kind of reacted a little bit from here. Yeah, we're going to start moving lower and lower and lower. Yeah, just start moving lower and lower and lower, and then eventually get to the other levels in there. Quasimodo in here, price basically reacted from it already, so that was the level that could have gone a good continuation setup in here. After price never retraced to this level, this was actually the second best entry. The first one it went in here, then kind of retest these levels, which never occurred, and then in there. Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, maybe there can be something. Yeah. So we'll see. Yeah, I don't mind. I actually like that potential scenario. Again, let's see. Literally on Monday, if price by any chance goes straight away in here, breaks and goes higher, then maybe we can take these highs and then go lower. If by any chance we maybe go first higher and then kind of go lower, and then maybe we can actually just go like this. Perhaps. Like we'll see. We'll see which direction actually within this range now pound is going to break. Yeah. Yeah, the rest of the euro like pound pairs, we have euro pound made out the move as well, reacted really nice from the target. It took those highs, reacted from the left side. It was kind of an interesting move as well. What's going on in here, and kind of we may be within now this range on euro pound. Looking at the Aussie, what a move, right? So we have been talking about breaking these lows for a long time. Price respected that level. It finally broke the lows this week. Again, Is this the final level? Maybe. I would like even to see go there, and I think my favorite would still even be below this double O in there. Again, let's see if price by any chance even goes there or not. And it failed. Again, another big compression. Price broke away or broke into the compression all the way to the extreme. So nice, this level. Price fake out. So we have the NFP move, like on the 20, and you have that spike, like, and there were a few like this. So there are a few still level fresh behind like this, which is we had spike, price retrace all the way. It never touched the supply level. It paused just a little bit underneath it. What does price do now on the retracement? It just took this level. It just took it, got a little bit closer to that, and fake out that high, and it went all the way down. Like, identifying these levels, if you do see them, those become really interesting levels to look for a potential zone. And even more interesting is that left shoulder that was fake out, it actually works quite nicely as a sell. And that's basically what we had. Now price is in here, prospecting again. We are back into this range. It's another one that never really got too much into the extreme after taking the lows. So basically this zone is left behind. Since we respected that high, maybe the tendency can still be to go lower. If you by any chance you break the highs before maybe getting there, that's maybe even a better look for a high in there. We'll see. We are kind of within this range. It's kind of where we are on the Aussie. Again, interest rate decision Tuesday or Wednesday this week. We'll see. Which maybe there's a question mark in there if there's going to be another hike or not. Inflation is starting to increase slightly, mostly due to the energy costs and maybe the pauses that we have seen. Yeah, maybe the pauses are going to pause kind of, and they are going to resume the hikes. We'll see. That's going to be interesting to see, and which one is going to be the first one to hike again, if any is going to hike by any chance. Aussie yen, this was another one, right? And we talked about it as well. What do you guys remember, right? I spent, if not last week, 2 weeks ago, or whenever I said it, I almost spoke for 10 minutes or more about this particular setup, which is when you do break a important level of structure, and the level of structure is in the middle. It's not the highs. The highs are not even these ones. The highs are these ones. Okay. When you do break such an important level of structure, which is basically maybe the last high that created the lower low, but then opens the door to go much higher, what price tends to do is fake out the highs, find whatever level it is that is reacting to on the left, doesn't really matter. Sometimes you switch it, fake out and go down. Sometimes it's reacting from a good level. Perfect. But what usually tends to happen is takes the highs. You need to go check where is the last low kind of that created that move to the upside, and price will fake out that low, and then it's going to resume to continue to move to the upside. Okay, this is an engulf up. This is not a reversal. This is just a retracement. Or price tend to continue into the direction that it was already coming from. Especially if we have a clear target even higher, because we mentioned about this about top, and we mentioned about this one. And those will be natural targets for aim for price to go to. Okay, so when you do break that in the middle, even more in this case than this one, this one, when you break these highs, you are already really close to the top. When you break these highs, you are nowhere near close to the top. You have still a lot of room to go to. But how can you collect liquidity like this? It's exactly to retrace out the way, you break lows, you make look like it's about to crash again, to move down, but it's not, because there's a bigger picture. If you are just looking zoomed in like this, that's kind of what's going to look like, right? What it's going to look like is that you went higher, and now it broke lows, and now price is ready to do this. It's not, okay? The tendency is actually to go eventually go higher. Now this one was actually quite tricky because price literally still respected quite a little bit a good level in there. Basically it is left shoulders, so that was a bit tricky. So in this particular case, even if you're looking for shorts in there, you most likely still had a win, right? But the tendency it would be maybe not even make such a retracement back to here, and will just maybe continue to go high. Okay, but in terms of overall direction, that's usually what happens. We talked about that either last week or 2 weeks ago, I don't remember. It's a typical move as a continuation setup. yeah, after taking such an important level of structure. What did it do now? Went all the way, it took another highs, and no surprise, we have another move. Where to? Just previous level support resistance. It looks almost as simple as that. And from here, we'll see what's going to happen. Like again, this one, if you do identify kind of a double top like that, it becomes such an important level or zone to look for. Now, was there anything in here that price ended up reacting from? We did have this demand zone that basically price never respected on the way down. So that becomes interesting. And do I have information? Yeah, kind of skipped it a little bit in there. Yeah, this was literally the last demand zone that made the move upwards. This demand zone was never respected to the downside. Right, price from here should have kind of done this, never did it. So there you go. No surprise, it went all the way there to do that move. It's a really good one. Really good one on the LCN. Like, yeah, it's been moving quite nicely after spending so many weeks kind of in a choppy way. It finally kind of has proper momentum, proper moves happening in here, and we'll see. And what we talked about in regards to the N pairs, we wanted to start seeing the N pairs getting higher to get really close to an important level that maybe can crash after that, which will take the N index to the upside. Now, we did manage to take this level. It looks like in the bigger picture, in the kind of in the lower time frame, it may be okay. Bigger picture, I think price could still get a little bit higher in there. And when that maybe goes in alignment with the other N pairs, then it may crash from there. We'll see. This level can be kind of interesting, and then maybe price can challenge a little bit again. Maybe this lows in there. Dollar yen. Dollar yen finally reached that level. Okay. Yeah, I do have quite a few lines in here, but dollar yen finally took this high. And this was one of those that we were talking about as well. Like we talked about a few levels in here, which were, what were they? Kind of, I think it was that one, or kind of that one, or kind of that one, and then eventually to take the highs. And then you'll be looking a little bit more in here. In particular, kind of this level, 153.06 or something like that can be quite interesting. There's another one just a little bit underneath that, and then maybe price can challenge eventually there. But anytime price kind of was around this level, this meant intervention last year from the Bank of Japan. So we are at those stages. Right, so finally price fake out slightly this high, and we had finally a turn in here, right? So faking out important highs, that's exactly what you may wait for, right? It was also in correlation with the dollar yen, with the dollar index reaching that supply level. So all of it in alignment Wednesday in the evening, and we finally had a turn in here. A lower time frame, yeah, we may get a little bit close in here. I think price reacted from there. Maybe there was a little bit of a zone in there, and maybe we have that one, and then we'll see what else we may have. Now, from here, this was actually quite unlucky for me. I was about to go short in there. Yeah, I was literally about to go short in here, but this was basically 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Yeah, that was the intervention. Like, and they did 3 times, like, the interventions, right? They didn't did it just once. They did 3 times. They did the first time, it was in here in September. This was the first attempt. We actually predicted exactly how this move back then, kind of 1 week before, or kind of the weekend before that. Again, collecting out this liquidity, the target in here, we predicted that one, and then it was this one. And if you actually pay attention to what actually this one reacted to in the bigger picture, it actually makes absolute sense as well. I don't know if I can check that. Yeah, I don't think I can. I think maybe on TradingView you can go all the way to check actually where the high reacted from, and it's a beautiful, I think it's a quasi mode on the monthly chart. I don't know, back then, whatever it is. Yeah, that was another one. So that was intervention. This was intervention, and this was another one. Like, these ones were closer. This was one back in September. No, this was 18 October. Yeah, a few days later, and then kind of, yeah, it was basically in this period of time. Price just, yeah, the Bank of Japan intervening like crazy. Now, what we have in here, right? I was about to get short in there. Unfortunately, it was 5 or 10 minutes just before the closing. I decided not to. Yeah, it's kind of tricky. Like the swaps, not the swaps, the spread kind of can literally take you out, even though price never gets there. Because there was literally kind of a fresh supply in there. That's kind of what I was looking for. Price had already kind of broken a low in there, and I was looking for it. It happened, and I think that level can still be interesting. So somewhere in there, I think price can still, or dollar yen can still go to, and I'm still going to be curious to see how dollar yen may react from here. Again, we mentioned that there are a few levels just above it. Price just took that high by a little bit, or maybe can still go a bit higher. Where is this target? Where did the target went to? It reacted from a good level. Okay, so it fueled a little bit of this compression into this level, so it reached a good target, which is kind of between this structure and the next one. If you had broken below that, then you can kind of aim a little bit lower, if not even in there. But so far, price reacted from the previous good level, so all good, which can still take dollar yen to go higher. Now it has been moving in a lot of compression in here, still respecting a little bit this level. So in here, this is basically where price respects a little bit, and I'm just curious to see how price may react from here, to see if there is another short in there, or price just go higher and again continues to go higher and respecting one of those levels. I'm going to continue to be short in here. It looks like crazy, like dollar yen is just moving higher, and I'm just looking for shorts. But it is what it is. That's how my mind works, and yeah, just be cautious with that in there. Like, so it's a little bit of what we have in there. Euro yen, as we mentioned, has been in a range, so as it goes higher, and I'm really curious to see if by any chance it's going to be there. Imagine that Euro yen would be here. Imagine that dollar yen, yeah, it would be maybe somewhere in there as well, kind of really close to, I don't know, somewhere in here. Imagine that Aussie yen, it will be in here. And imagine that maybe pound yen will be, I don't even know where pound yen can go to. Pound yen has been much bearish than the other ones because of the pound. I don't even know where like, I don't know. Also the highs, I don't think that's going to be maybe too realistic. I have no clue. It went all the way in here. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of room to go before even going there. Yeah, imagine that is at a good level. Like, so if all of a sudden all of these 3-4 yen pairs are at a good level, then we may have literally that what we just talked about, the potential move down in alignment with all the yen pairs. Maybe a new cycle starts in that moment. So it's just something to keep an eye on, something to follow. In terms of euro yen, nothing much to talk about. Just keep respecting this level. I'm just waiting for price to break away from this level before aiming to anything else. In particular, if it goes there, I'm going to be super interested. Same thing in here as well. So nothing much in there. Pound yen, with respect to that level, this somewhere in here could have been a good long to gain momentum with the pound pairs. Yeah, so that's just something a little bit in here to look for. Price respecting this structure again. So let's see what may happen in there after that. In terms of dollar CAD, unbelievable move. Like, this was a bit unlucky as well. We were looking for the shorts. Yeah, these guys they play really tricks. I was looking for the short on the CAD on Wednesday in there, somewhere in here. Price paused just before that, and I decided not really to take the short because I was still looking for it, and I didn't really like all these highs in here. The price was just respecting this previous level, so yeah, still aiming for there. Meanwhile, price goes down. Kind of challenge these lows. It goes really quick to the upside, and then I waited for price actually to break this demand zone before jumping into it. It never really broke it. Meanwhile, broke it. It's already too late for me. I never really managed to get short in that one, and then we were just waiting. Like in here, we were waiting for price actually to go slightly there to go down. Price never really made that move. It just stayed in this level, and there you go. So I literally we missed. Another guys also, we missed out that short from that level. Price never retraced there, and we had the target kind of challenge this lows. Price literally reacted from the level that I had actually. This low was in there, and there was a little bit of a gap in here on the lower time frame. This one already taken that one, so kind of we're looking for price to fill this gap in there. Yeah, well, eventually price reacted to, and now skyrocketing. Since this low respected so perfectly this level, I was no longer interested in selling here again. Like initially that was my target, that was the move I was looking for. Since price never really got to my level and it respected the target, I'm no longer interested in selling. Actually, this level can be quite interesting for a long, to be honest, at this point. And you're looking for price eventually after breaking this high to feel the compression, and you are aiming for price maybe to go there, maybe towards here. Yeah, that's kind of a little bit of what I'm looking for. Price already kind of broke that level, and I think we can challenge and go all the way in there. So yeah, that's basically what we have been talking about as well. Right, this was a mid-range to look for. Depending on how price would react from here, if it breaks, then you're targeting that level. You can even go then eventually higher as well. But this level that we were initially looking for a sell, which never really got respected, somewhere in here can actually be interesting to look for a potential long opportunity. We do have maybe this demand zone. It's a little bit more in alignment with the previous high in here. And then we kind of have maybe that structure, which can maybe be used as well somewhere in here. All right, so that's something to look for. By any chance, if you're looking for continuation in here, price could just rally like this. So for a potential continuation setup on the card, especially if price hasn't really got there, yeah, that can be a good target. Can be actually for Monday, for example, to look for. Other opportunities, it was on the other CAD pairs, like Euro CAD, massive. Like, so it was another one, really good reaction. This was something that we were paying attention to. We were paying attention to this level. We have been talking about it as well as a potential fake out into there and then kind of reverse. On the lower time frame, this level makes a little bit more sense than actually kind of what it is in here. Nevertheless, bigger picture, this may just be ending of down, and maybe price is going to respect something, in particular maybe feeling this compression, or maybe getting there and eventually moving down from there. Yeah, we do have a little bit of this level structure right now. Cookie. One of my cats is just on top of my table right now, my desk. What do you want? You want to trade as well? Have you traded enough this week? No? You want to eat? I'll take my microphone away. Are you good? Do you approve the Navis? Oops, don't take the microphone away. Do you agree with me? Hey, kisses? Okay. Say hi to everyone. Nah, say hi. Don't bite the microphone, please. Alright, right. Need to go back, okay? Open the door for you. Come on. All right, I'm back. Yeah, EuroCAD was another one. We were kind of looking for it. The compression in here was quite strong. And there you go. It was another one that was quite quick. Another one that I waited for the reversal, kind of the retracement, and never occurred. Just there you go. Respect there and then move along. This was a nice one as well. It's a continuation. Yeah, target can go all the way. Yeah, price can maybe target that level, maybe some reaction from here, a little bit of structure in there. I think maybe the continuation on this card can continue, eventually can go there, and you see what may happen in that moment in here. So yeah, just similar to the Aussie, what I mentioned before. Where are we? Similar to the Aussie, right? This was a spike, maybe interest rate decision in Canada on the 14th of September. the spike never really got close to the maybe to the supply, which we may actually target this high altogether and take that, and then can go down after that, just to use it as a reference. Can be interesting. Even that small zone that I just marked can also be interesting in alignment with this one, even though this one has already been taken, and you have this structure in there. Yeah, this one has already been taken as well. Can you see how they work? Right, supply, take it, but it already reacted from here perfectly to the pip. This is kind of the extreme of the extreme, which is good because it's not visible in the lower time, in the higher time frame. Basically on the 30 minutes price pauses in there, which is exactly what you want to try to look for. Hidden zones, which is a little bit in alignment with this one as well. Yeah, so why not just take these guys, react a little bit from there, go down, and then kind of go higher again eventually to get there, take that high, react from here, and then you're free to continue to move down. Yeah, that looks like a great opportunity. This wave already took that one. This wave basically already got really close to that one. So take. There's maybe something in here to look for, and everything in here has been done. Yeah, so that's a little bit of what we have on the EURUCAD, which is also one that has been providing interesting opportunities. Pound CAD just similar, actually not similar, but again another big move, fake out, reacted from an interesting level. Again, Pound CAD had already broken these walls for a while, and now it's reacting from this level in there. Again, just similar to pound dollar, the compression on the pound pairs were quite visible in the previous days, until we finally turn, and there you go. So no surprise that price just moves quickly through these compression zones, because there's nothing much in there for price to hold it. And that's basically what we have. And target for this, I don't know, it's maybe a little bit of a zone in there that could go to. We have this one, and then maybe we can start looking a little bit ahead. Where is the double low that we just took? And it's basically already been taken, and you have this important level in there, right? So maybe something in here could pause a little bit. We'll see. Interesting, just gain momentum again. And pairs interesting, on pairs interesting as well because of the compression that we have seen. Pound Aussie can be also another one quite interesting, just even to look at Euro Aussie. Another one, we had this range for a long time, price finally went down, respected this demand zone, and I'm curious to see how price may react from here. If it continues to go down, or if you start breaking above it, we may have a deep retracement from here. Nice reaction from there. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe this level can still be interesting, taking out all these highs. Yeah, maybe something here can actually still be interesting to look for a potential continuation down. Yeah, taking everything in here can be interesting, to be honest. Yeah, because this one already kind of reacted nicely from that level. Kind of have this left shoulder. Yeah, why not? Yeah, we'll see. And Pound Aussie kind of the same. It continues to move down. It's literally respecting this low. Again, not a big fan of double lows, but yeah, reacting from there. This one reacted from there, and we'll see. It's another one with a strong compression. For a moment, this was a good long opportunity. Price reacted from that level. Again, we do have this structure first and foremost in here to see how it works, and then kind of a little bit higher to see if you do have any kind of move upwards from there. And eventually price can go a little bit more lower, somewhere in there. And if not even already took these lows, which means price can go there, but this one reacted. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. So this is a bit what we have as well in here. This can actually be a great opportunity. It shouldn't really extend out this, because there's a great opportunity in there. Look for a sell. It's really good, to be honest. Yeah, it's really good, to be honest. Okay. Yeah, those are a little bit of alternative pairs to look for. Dollar franc Swiss. Another one, right? So another one that it has been quite bullish. Again, weekly candle, another bullish candle, another quite strong bullish candle in there, and there you go. So target, we're looking for this double top. Okay, so after we took that high, we're looking for that level. Price never really got close to the supply in this particular case. Okay, so price just took that level and never really reacted from the next level. Maybe took the base of it, but never really the supply. So there's a chance to still maybe fake out the highs and go there. This was actually the one that I managed to short it in there, but I did close it too early. Didn't really let it run completely, unfortunately. Right? And this is what you mean, like, so even for example, kind of my target was somewhere in there, whatever, you see price reacting from it, but yeah, the spread overnight, like the bid is in here, the ask is somewhere in there. You're almost actually about to get stopped out, even though you can see price being in here. It's so tricky, man. These guys are unbelievable. These are nice markets, by the way. Yeah, but that's kind of what we have in here. Yeah, keeping positions overnight in certain pairs, it's so tricky. Like even like price wise, like 20 pips, 30 pips, whatever, and all of a sudden you are out, even though you never see price even get to that level. What we have, there's maybe still something in there, there's maybe something in here. Price kind of reacted from that level and just continued to move down. This was a kind of a bigger picture good target as well, of price kind of getting in there, and let's see. Yeah, so looking for price to see how price may react from that level. When you do maybe get to that double top, again, there's a little bit of a zone above this high into that level that price can still even fake out the highs, and I would be surprised if that happens. Because to be honest, we had that big move upwards, and instead of just creating a double top, or we can have a double top first, but then eventually before a big turn, usually just even similar to what you have in here, there's a slightly fake out of a low. I call it kind of a slightly fake out of a high. Even if you have a double top in there, then you eventually have that move that's going to do it. Price usually doesn't really just turn by going up and kind of going down, and this will be the top. Usually doesn't really happen like that, especially when the drop is quite aggressive. There is no surprise that eventually price needs kind of to retrace. Like there are a lot of orders left behind at this stage, and that price kind of needs to go there to collect some of them, if not even the extreme, at least some of them, before even continue to move down. Like price doesn't just work in straight lines like that in here. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if by any chance we do get close to that level. Maybe in here can still be interesting as price kind of navigates towards there. Nice reaction, fake out. Yeah, maybe in here price by any chance wants to continue to move slightly lower. In terms of target, I think I was looking slightly below that. But yeah, nice move. Again, another one that completely had a really big move to the upside initially during the week, then moved down, kind of correction, and that's kind of where we are in here. Gold, yeah, gold just kind of got really close to the target, so we're looking for price to get closer to this level. Good reaction in here first, and then kind of looking a little bit in there, and then maybe a little bit lower. Bigger picture, we have been bearish. When price kind of broke this level, in here it broke below the low. I think we mentioned about that one, and in here we broke again below the low. We talked about that one as well, even though kind of correct. It's still an engulf down in the bigger picture. In here, another confirmation, and kind of price retested that level. Good reaction from here, and just continues. Again, we're looking for price actually to get closer in there to maybe look for another sell. Price never really touched that zone. With this spike, to have been a little bit higher in there. Now, price is finally reached or getting really close to the target, which is a little bit more closer to this level than eventually those walls. And then we'll see. And then we'll see what gold is going to do. If it's going to use anything in here to push higher, or by any chance if you break below that, then you're targeting way much lower in here. So yeah, gold needs to slow down, needs to lose momentum. It has been quite aggressive, quite strong. In this case, negatively strong. Yeah, so that's something to just keep an eye on as well. Oil, there's another one, ballistic. Didn't really manage to get it neither. It took the highs. We talked about that level. We talked about that this high had already broken that high, so kind of expectation to see price eventually break into the upside. We had that move down. Price respected that initial target in here, and then kind of continue. Nevertheless, it's kind of an engulf slightly down in there, so I would I don't mind to see eventually price break below this low, and there's a little bit of a gap in here that I wouldn't mind to see price actually reacting to. But nevertheless, my price went all the way. We had this next level in here to look for price to go to. Price just paused slightly underneath that, didn't really reach the extreme. But there you go, another double top that is faked out, and with price with an aggressive move to the downside is around 95. So again, with oil and the energy costs kind of continue to increase, that's going to be maybe a problem. So we'll see what may happen in here. Again, there's maybe still levels in there. It's just a continuation with eventual price targeting something in here. We have all these lows in there, so that's something that we'll be looking for on oil in there. Just literally waiting for the extremes at this point. I believe that eventually we're going to try to find some kind of agreement. On price agreement, it will be kind of a range, and without price just continue to go ballistic up or kind of down, kind of finding a little bit of a range to make it steady. Let's see is actually where those ranges are going to be. If it's going to be too high, what is going to get close to 100, is getting closer to that level, or kind of maybe somewhere in here. Yeah, and then where it will be that bottom as well. So that's kind of a little bit of what eventually we're going to be looking at, and when is that range going to be created in here. Yeah, that's what we have. And then just to finalize it, guys, again, thank you for joining in here. If you're getting value, if you're new, feel free to subscribe, please. Yeah, just keep trying to increase the channel. I'm trying to be more, or to change my creative plan as well, to create more content, or at least to make it easier for you guys to watch it as well, instead of just 1 hour and some of live stream. Yeah, just need to prioritize it in my own schedule. Crypto, what we have, right? So continuation kind of respected that level. We're looking for price to go slightly lower. Again, this demand zone kind of never really got respected in there, but this one's still okay. It was the base of it, and that's kind of what you have. Again, still interested to see eventually if you do break above kind of that range or not. I think maybe we may finally take the highs, and then we go higher after that. Again, this one may still crash behind, but price may now have this one in here to look for. So it could kind of carry on just like that and go higher. We'll see if that's going to happen or not. So let's see how price may react from this level. Yeah, Bitcoin kind of similar story, similar scenario. Just price kind of reacting a little bit from this level, kind of still left a little bit these zones behind, and it's kind of where I was looking a bit more for even a better entry. And as you can see on Ethereum, price actually did a little bit different. Price actually went a little bit lower, got really close to that level, at least reacted from the left shoulders in here, right? And it's finally now approaching this level that Bitcoin had already reacted from. So that's a little bit of what we have in here. This could have been a good entry after taking that level. Again, price actually got closer to this level. Bitcoin, in this case, stayed always in here. Never really did this. Yeah, again, just a little bit similar to S&P and NASDAQ, to be honest. Sometimes Bitcoin and Ethereum kind of create the same levels structurally. But they react from them in different phases, in different moments, even though kind of both of them move to the upside and downside at the same time. The levels they respect or the levels they leave behind, they are different. Here's an example, right? Bitcoin already reacted from here when this high is around this time, like on the 19th of September, whatever it may be. Ethereum never went there. Ethereum just actually created a double top in here. And now Ethereum went all the way down to respect this level, and Bitcoin has never even touched that level. Like, again, just an example of what you can try to, or how you can try to use this correlation by using at the zones themselves, not just the direction. In here, again, question mark, what Ethereum is going to do from here. Hold it or kind of break it, and eventually can aim to go higher in here, and then even maybe a little bit higher. Again, my opinion in terms of Bitcoin is, as long as kind of these walls hold, when price starts moving higher, I think there's going to be the chance to eventually, for example, if these walls hold and price gets there, I think that could be finally the scenario where you have all these highs being broken. And if this wall breaks and all of a sudden price is somewhere in here or in here, then I think price can still provide a really great short opportunity from there. It's a little bit of what I'm looking for in here. In particular, Solana, this was another one that you're looking for. I've been looking for. Eventually, I was looking for price to eventually take that low, which may still happen, maybe just in the future. What I'm looking for, it was to see if this level would break or not, in order to kind of push more down. It respected it, so now naturally it kind of go higher. We have this double top. Wouldn't be surprised if this price actually eventually takes that. We have all these highs to target. We can even go slightly higher. Again, these levels we have left behind in here, but we may have still a few zones just before that still. So yeah, this was a nice one. Interesting how price fake out that level and only then turn. Yeah, it's a little bit of what crypto is doing. I'm not really focused crypto that much, just have it on with some alert and back on my head and that back on my mind. And that's it in there. So yeah, oil, and there we go. So we'll see. In terms of the dollar, again, just to summarize it, paying attention to what may happen within this range. Kind of okay where the dollar is reacted from on the highs, not so much on the euro. I wouldn't mind to see maybe kind of a range playing out this week, kind of price balancing in between kind of the extremes and respecting some levels. I think we have enough of a range. Eventually, if you do break below that level, looking for price to navigate all the way towards these lows. Yen pairs, I think again continue to be kind of an interesting one, with the dollar yen continue to go higher, and eventually if you have these yen pairs in alignment at a good level to short it, that can be a really good opportunity, and maybe that's the moment we're going to have this yen index completely breaking out these levels and going higher. Until then, we may just continue within some kind of ranges on the yen pairs, and all the rest of the move will be created by the other currency pairs. What else? Indices, again, we'll see. Bigger time frame, still expecting more bearishness. Shorter time frame, more intraday, kind of to look for the week ahead. Yeah, maybe a bit of range, can even go higher before go down. And to finalize, yeah, just to see if next week we finally have a bearish candle. So at this point, this is where the weekly candle on the dollar yen and the yen index is. So we'll see if it's going to be 12 weeks in a row, or you're going to finally have a first bearish candle on a weekly time frame on the dollar index. And that's it. Yep, and that's it for me today. Thank you guys. Thank you, David, for participating, for being in here as well with me, taking the time. And I will see you. I'll see you next week. Thank you, guys. It's the beginning of the last quarter of the year, Q4. All the best. Good luck. Time to double down. Stay focused. Yeah, stay focused as much as possible. At least until kind of middle of December, when kind of things starts to slow down. Yeah, stay focused for the next at least 2.5 months, and then we can start planning for next year. Thank you. Enjoy your weekend. Bye bye, guys.